the recording so that we get it. So, Joanne, your question is, who becomes aware of the awareness? There is no who. The what is awareness itself, and the what is the essence of the dreaming mind, is the sun, is the extension of God. So the decision maker is still in consciousness. We're deciding right-mindedness. We're deciding as a body mind. It's the ego that is searching. It's the moth circling the flame, wanting to be one with the flame. It's consciously becoming aware of the flame, closer and closer. The heat of the light is becoming awareness inside us. Consciousness is turning into awareness, becoming consciously aware. And what is aware? Awareness is aware of itself as that which is awareness itself. And as the awareness takes over the consciousness of the body-mind, there is no more body-mind in awareness. And awareness is itself as that which is the extension of that which is, for want of a better word, God. That which is. That which appears is not, yet it appears in that which is. And that which is the substrata, the screen on which all the activities seem to appear. Once the activities dissolve, because they're no longer attached, because they cannot change the screen, no matter how much they try, they appear and they disappear. And what remains is just the screen of awareness, being itself knowingly. That is what it means to be thyself knowingly, is be aware that you are awareness itself. And the you is, there is no you. Once you go into that silent stillness, the abyss of the void, where all thought subsides, and the essence is, the essence which we've named Spirit, Holy Spirit, containing the memory of itself, remembering, becoming a member, remembering itself as that which is the extension of that which is God. Be still and know I am means be the silent stillness. That starts to bubble through gratitude into the grace of beingness, the beingness which is the extension of God's love. So who knows this? No one knows this. So how can I say this? These are words, but concessions of, can't even call it an experience because it's the beingness. The beingness is not an experience. It's the allness. It's the timelessness. It's the formlessness of that which is real. It's real. It becomes your new reality as the delusion dissolves, the disillusionment with the illusion, the disillusionment, the dissolving of the illusion becomes the light of awareness, aware of itself as that which is, the extension of that which is, appearing as this, and yet this isn't true because it plays through time, space, matter, and yet it never matters because it matters not. It's just light, ever extending as that which is God. I don't know if that answered it, Joanne. This isn't food for the ego. This isn't a sweetie pie, an ice cream. Oh, you got an ice cream as a reward. Oh, I can regurgitate this. And remember, the ego will misappropriate any of these so-called human concepts in our transcendence of body-mind identity, because transcendence is we transcend the identity. We let go of the identity. And the ego says, no, but what about, and what if, and what when, and who's what, and who's going to get it, and what do I do next, and what now? Needs more, and what am I going to be enlightened? And what does that mean? Enlightenment is simply the recognition of our shared essence as that which is, the extension of that which is forever, the eternal now, God. And the ego says, but no, there has to be more. Well, there isn't any. This is everything. There is nothing more to it. Any other thoughts, questions? We've still got 10 minutes left before ESCOM says no more light.
Luis, I wouldn't mind chatting to you about like the new year and goals. Something's been very different for me this particular cross into a new year in time, where I don't find myself having a single goal. And then with that comes up like a whole bunch of stuff around, well, what you're going to become this year and why don't you have goals and what's wrong with you. So all of that stuff. But when you look at a goal, I can only talk from personal experience, like 95% of the time prior, a goal arises on behalf of some separate self that wants to achieve something.
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Not all.
Is that the difference between a goal and inspiration? Whereas I find like inspiration is more, it arrives in the moment, and there's a resource of energy behind that wants to move it forward, versus a goal being like a future objective or outcome trying to be achieved, which actually just tires you out.
Sometimes in time, sometimes. So let's give it a new perspective. So it's not becoming anything this year. I want you to become as unbecoming of you as possible. So I want your mother to say to you, but Ryan, that's very unbecoming of you. And you go, yes, Mom. You're right. It is unbecoming of me. We're not becoming anything. I already am. And it's being revealed to me through my letting go of all my goals, because all my previous goals were designed in a way so that I could achieve what I thought was going to make me happy. All I want is the kingdom. All I want is the knowing of myself, being myself knowingly, as that which is the extension of my source. I want to know my source. Why? Because that call that calls me to know, calls for me to be the joyous expression of being. And so when I abide in silent stillness, I simply ask, show me. It's the wonderful prayer by St. Francis of Assisi, where Francis of Assisi says to God, dude, where would you have me go? Dude, what would you have me say? What must I do, dude? God, where must I go? What must I say? Who must I help? Where must I pitch up? What next? You show me. Because everything I've done, everything I've pursued, even though sometimes it's made me happy, because I now realize when I finally achieve it, I attain it, I'm happy. Why am I happy? Because the searcher ceased for a little while, and the all-pervading essence of self came into awareness. And as soon as the ego saw that, the body, mind, identity said, oh, you're happy because you've achieved it. And so the happiness dissolved, and the next goal came, and the next goal, I'm done with goals. I'm now abiding in the silent stillness and asking for the tuition, the intuition. I'm in tuition. I'm under tuition of spirit. The tuition of spirit to inspire that which is, to be that which I'm meant to be in this illusionary script, where the dreamer is remembering itself through the activities, body-mind activities of the dream. And so I choose to be an instrument of love, instrument of peace, instrument of joy. And I'm only going to be able to be that when I play out through the harmony of this body-mind flute, which is playing in E minor. And E minor for Ryan means go out and coach, go out and inspire. To Lou, it means go build something, go turn a company around. To Joanne, it may mean go and play a new musical piece. To Vera, it may mean go and find a great new hobby. To Gavin, may be go and bring healthy farming techniques to the farms of this country. To Michelle, it may mean go and buy a new motorcycle and learn to race motorcycles. It may mean whatever. But to play out through what used to be what we called our talented, passionate nature, that we pursued goals and careers, and it will play out through that same mechanism, that same construct. It'll use the old shell, the old ego shell. It'll use all those neuro pathways and networks, its natural talents, but it'll want to pour itself through that. It's no longer pursuing anything. It's not trying to attain anything. It's wanting to share itself passionately. And you'll still want to do what you're naturally designed to do. I am just inspired. I'm inspired. I'm now running a bionutrition company called Sphera. I'm inspired to bring bionutrition to the world. I know it's all illusionary constructs, but it feels good to take a small company that was struggling, turn them around. They're good company, good people, great products, and I'm now going to share that with the world. Take it, turn it into a multinational. I want to take all my skills, my illusionary construct skills, marketing, strategy, business, negotiations, multinational business strategy, apply it, love it. But it's the pouring of as opposed to the chasing. The goals come on their own. And when something changes, we have this very solid goals in the past, and then you force it, you fight, you'll start to see, hang a second, the path of least resistance is the only way. Flow like the river. Whereas in the past, you try to beat up the rocks, you know you can't. The world's designed to beat you up, and then your disillusionment with the beating up is what pulls you back into negativity. And now you become like the flowing river, and you just follow it. You follow it. And sometimes there'll be fierce grace that'll say push, because you want to stand for the truth. You want to share the truth knowingly. You want to stand for the righteousness of God, which is love. Righteousness is love. So if you see something that isn't becoming of love, you see some form of atrocity, some form of cruel vengeance, someone being hurt, animals being hurt, you show up because it shows up from love, and you change things and you tackle things. And sometimes you need to be a bit directive, and sometimes you need to sound a little forceful in the pushing of the love, but you flow. And you don't take anything personal anymore, because it's love showing up through what appears as this. It shows up, and it wants to share itself passionately, lovingly. It's no longer wanting to make manifest. It wants to let go of all manifestations, and it just wants to be the light, joyously playing with light, with what appears in the light as people, places, things, and events. It wants to, nothing matters anymore, but it's all light appearing as matter. The illusion is simply light appearing as matter. And so we don't just go into the non-dual, nothing matters. I'll just sit at home, play video games. I'm going to give up everything because nothing matters. It's non-dual. This is all an illusion. No. This illusion is you. So show up into you. Show up and pour yourself passionately into whatever. And just ask. We forget to ask. You're asking. You ask your dad before you go to sleep, put the alarm bell on so you can wake up. And now you're asking, wake me up. Wake me up through my passionate expression. And it'll inspire you. How can I say this? Because it's done that for me. And if it's done it for me, and I'm a similar construct to 8 billion constructs, it's there for everyone. It's the knowing of self as that which is. Go within or you go without. So when you go within, it's revealed, it's revealed, it's re-seen. It's always there. It's always been there. I'm not becoming anything. I've always been what is. It just appeared to be something else. And now we show up and we pour ourselves as lovingly and passionately and inspired as we can. And we contribute to ourself. The world is ourself, appearing as a world. We pour ourselves lovingly into this. And we let go of the attachment to an outcome, to how it's meant to be, to how it's meant to work, to who's supposed to buy it, who's supposed to read it. If I did these YouTube posts only because I need people to be liked, I would have given up. Oh, I only got 30 last week. It's not about that. It's just, I need to do this for this. I need to do it. I want to do it for this. I want to. You want to pour yourself. You don't need it. You don't desire it. It's desire itself pouring into this desire. What is to be that which is? The only thing we truly desire is to be ourselves knowingly, to know the self-same essence of our source, and to share that with the rest of ourselves appearing as this world, this universe. I'll stop.